Hey, sorry I'm a few seconds late, getting myself organized here. I'm Cadence Kidwell here at Fuzzy Goat in downtown Thomasville, and school might be out around here, but we've got books and kind of school supply tools to show you. School meaning knitting. So, I'm going to show you some of these here. We love to curate fresh books for you almost as much as we love planning projects. And I love that Kara's tuning in. Kara won our prize last week, so that was fabulous. You can find all of these things that we're going to be talking about at fuzzygoatyarns.com, and you can also text us to help you with your projects at 229-246-GOAT. But let's look at some of these books. All these books right here came in this week. So it was a busy week, and we have missed our Melissa. Therefore, why I was a few minutes late this morning, because I didn't have Melissa to help me get organized yesterday. This is a really great book. We have several Marie Green books. This one is one we just restocked, which is Knit a Little. And we had Geraldine in this week and just showing us one sweet little sweater after another that she had knit for her little one. We even got to see a little video of her granddaughter prancing around in it. So we've got lots of hats. I want to show you some of these sweaters here at this up. Look how darling this one is. This would be great for either a boy or a girl. This one too. Look at these sweet little sweaters. And if you have not knit a sweater, we highly recommend maybe starting with a child's sweater. Look at this sweet little cardigan. Even if you don't have a child in mind that you're knitting for, it's a great way to learn the technique. And inevitably, there will be a birthday party, baby shower, something, and you will have just the right gift. So this one is Knit a Little. So that was a really great one for Marie Green. This one, Mystical Stitches, we have the hardest time keeping this in stock. So though it's not knitting, and I know you're seeing the titles backwards, this is all about embroidery, and we have some really great overdyed embroidery floss. But we've reordered this book 5 or 6 times, and it wasn't until the last time that I noticed that the inside of the book is like the inside of the other side of your embroidery. Isn't that the coolest thing? I just love that. So though it's not specifically knitting, of course, I have seen some great embroidery on knitting. So that's one of the reasons why I really like this technique here, because you can do it, of course, and we have some really sweet linen handkerchiefs that you can knit on, that you can embroider on, but you can also do this on your sweaters. You can do this on your store-bought sweaters too, especially if they have a little hole in them, or you could do it on your hand knit things that maybe also have a hole in them through critters or something that you didn't intend. We also just yesterday got our second issue of Yarnology. This one last time blew me away. We resold this and reordered this more times than I can count. We did pre-orders. They come from Australia, hence the autumn issue when it's clearly not autumn here. It might still be spring where some of you guys are. It's definitely summer where we are. This also has an article in here from our customer Erica. So we're really excited about that too. This is a beautiful magazine. I did not do pre-orders this time because last time one of our batches of pre-orders got hung up in customs coming from Australia and made it greatly delayed. So I wasn't confident on when I could deliver these. So this time I waited till they're in the store, and they are in the store. We have 10 now, 20 more coming. So that's a great piece. This one I showed you last week. We only had one. An intrepid one of you grabbed that one, but now they're back. So yes, that is crochet on the cover, Marianne. Indeed. Yes. I believe it is. Cast On. This is a book that I have had in my own library before I had a store. I love this. Once I learned that there were different kinds of cast on and bind offs, this is a great example. This is a picot bind off. In fact, we're having Katrinkles make us one of those little handy tools with the picot bind off because we love it and use it so much. But this is a really great book. It has one of the things I love about it is not only I'm more of a picture person than a video person. This one has very clear pictures, but it also tells you what they're good for, each of these cast on and bind offs. And then you can also, there's also a section where you can find the matching one. So if you want to cast on in a specific way and bind off in a specific way and have your cast on and bind offs match, I know that that is a very level of detail, but that's why a lot of us knit, because we love that level of detail. So this is a really great book. I can't recommend it enough. They also have a companion book for increases and decreases. Again, they're not all the same, right? There's ones that lean a certain way, one that make decreases while you make different holes and all of that. And so this has really great tutorials in it and how you would do that same stitch depending on what is going on in your knitting when you do it. This is really great too. Yes, and Suzanne's right. The spiral binding makes it really easy to lay open. And speaking of spiral binding, we got this one too. 2 at a time socks. So lays open. Those of you that fall victim to second sock syndrome, my friend Paula, who had Really Knit Stuff, the shop in Tallahassee, only knit one of every sock. I always mean to ask her what she did with the rest of the ball, because she just couldn't bring herself to knit the rest of it, because she was done. She had the fun. But this time, my first pair of socks I did using this technique. I've only knit one other pair of socks since. It's not that the technique, that I was done with that. I like to show off what I knit. So I'm not a sock knitter, but the other pair of socks I knit were house socks, and I love those because they're a lot of fun. So this one's really good too. Another Marie Green that we got a few of and we'll be getting more of, this one flew out, is Seamless Knit Sweaters in 12 Weeks. I know that she's doing one right now. Marie Green's doing a 4-day knit along that some of you might be doing. If you want something a little more, I'm not 12 weeks. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the line there. It's in 2 weeks. A sweater in 12 weeks would still be great. This is a sweater in 2 weeks. Maybe it takes you 4 weeks. You know, but she's got some great techniques in there, and she has all sorts of sweaters in here too. So this is a really great book that we can't keep in stock. This one too just got restocked. We've got easy crochet dishcloths and easy knit dishcloths. We've got some great cotton yarn for those. Melissa knit dishcloth for each person in her, I can't remember if it was her knitting or her tennis, or her bridge group, but they were made really great gifts along with like a little bar of soap. And they have different stitch patterns in there, so it's a great way to practice different stitch patterns. You can also make them longer and make dish towels with them instead of just dishcloths. And the same thing with the crochet. Lots of different stitches in there. So we've got all these books at fuzzygoat.com, and you can text us too. And then this one is a new one. This is Knit 2 Socks in 1, where you basically knit like a tube, start and then a tube, and then you go back and do the afterthought heel and toe. And I love the idea of doing that also as yoga socks. So those are the books that we have that we just love to curate from you. Those are just the ones that came in this week. So speaking of tools too, because I want to move over to the tools and a book, we have, I was just noticing because I could do it like this. So we have this Coco Knits Makers board that's magnetic. I've got my current pattern on there on this board, and it's kind of like a little easel too. Let's see, move this down here so that I could also open this up. The thing about videos for me is once I get so I could lean this up and it'd be like an easel as well. I need to stop it and go back, and then I put my stuff down, and I've lost where I am in the video. I have learned that you can go slower, and you can slow. If you use the little gear symbol on YouTube, you can slow it down. So I tend to do that on my 3rd or 4th time through. So this is a really cool thing. This is the Coco Knits Makers board, and it's an easel, and it also is like a pattern holder, and it folds up here. Let me get all that out, folds up like that. So that's a cool tool. That came as a restock this week. And then other things that we got restocked. This is also a Coco Knits. This is a mesh. yarn bag. I forgot what we call it exactly, and I don't have the thing over here. But it's mesh, and it's really cool because you can put your, it's like a yarn cozy, but it has a little more room in there, and you can snap it up to make it really snug, and depending on what size your yarn is, and then you can pull, in this case, either in or out, and your ball, if it has a tendency to explode or roll around in your bag, it will stay inside this little handy pouch. And you can also turn the sides down and make it like a little bowl. We used to have the most beautiful ceramic yarn bowls, and sadly Julie doesn't make those anymore. This is not that beautiful ceramic yarn bowl, but it will not break because you can squish it up. We got those in. We got our blocking wires. We ordered these from Israel. We just love these, so we're paying the shipping and everything on that for you. They are very flexible, and you get a collection of different sizes in there, and they're great. So you can see how flexible they are in that they curl up into that, and it comes with T-pins. Blocking wires are great for like a picot edge because you can run your wire through all those little points and then just pin it out sporadically rather than trying to put a pin in every one of those. I also like it for making straight edges, especially if I'm going to be blocking a triangle. And speaking of blocking, we've got our rainbow knit blockers back in stock. These are kind of like combs. They have pins on them, and so this is also great for blocking out, and so that you can see that this takes the place of 6, 7, 8 pins in there, and that's really handy. We have these in a neutral in case you don't want the rainbow on your item. I kind of like a neutral palette, but I do love how cute these are. I like to just let my knitting shine, but I do like the rainbow knit blockers. They're just on there to block, right? It's not my actual knitting. And then Catrinkles, a Catrinkles order came in. Melissa, we missed you. You helped us pick all these things out, and then they came all. You'll have to see when you get in. These are, Melissa showed these off last week as one of her favorite tools. These are the counting 100. They count up. You can count up to 400 stitches with these. Actually, even more than that, because once you've counted your 25 and put your 25, you can move it to the other end. And so we've got these back in stock. And then this is a new one that Sweater Knitter Melissa knew that we needed. And these are, you put these on and it's like, okay, now what kind of decrease? This is a slip knit. You've got knit 2 togethers. You've got make 1 right, make 1 left, and you can hang them on your stitches right where you need them to be. So that's going to be there. I'll put the link up, but it's also if you put in tools you love. And speaking of socks, we got our sock ruler back in. This is really great. If you do toe-up socks, they have all the different sizes for the feet on here. So that's super cool too. Oh, and our ball winder, our hand ball winder has been very popular also. She's got directions. We have a little video of how to use it. You lay the yarn down in this little groove, and even if it doesn't stay in there, kind of gives you the idea, and then you wrap this way and you wrap that way and this way and that way, and then this is the center that you can pull out, put it in your little thing. So those are just some of the things that came in this last week. Now, did you think I wasn't going to show you yarn? We got some yarn this week too. Yep. What we got this week was our theme packs from Emma. So these are really fun. We have a few of these in stock, but we're going to let you keep buying them because we have more rolling coming in. Kathy, the sock ruler is most handy for toe up, but not necessarily. You could still put the rest of your, you could still put it if you do. If you do the top down, you could still put this in the foot part and use that to measure in there, which is a lot easier to ask somebody their shoe size or surreptitiously, I'm not sure if I said that right, figure out their shoe size than it is to measure their foot. Okay, so the yarn, we're gonna, because we have more on the way. So these are just so fun. These are Emma's. They're made from the Practically Perfect Sock. That is a collection of 10 colors that kind of meld into each other. A total of 810 yards. And we've got 4 different ways, and you might wonder what you're going to do with them. Marianne, I'm going to start with the crochet one. The crochet one you can do is this Waru shawl. This crocheted shawl would be really pretty. I'm starting with showing you this one because this is my favorite. I've been it just is so happy. The Waru shawl would look great in that. And I'm also going to show you some options. Okay, so say you wanted to do the Papillon, which is behind me here, which uses a self-striping yarn, but you could use one of these and then add in a solid skein. So you could do that. You could use this for the color work in a sweater and then knit the rest of your sweater in one of these. So this one is Copper Corgi's Dune Daisy, which goes great with this colorway, Sailor's Delight. And this one is Gorgeous on Copper Corgi Glitzy. I think would be really fun with this. Let me show you another pattern that this would be really pretty in. Is Amba O'Brien. Oh my gosh, I'm tripping up. Amba O'Brien's Lamina cowl and shawl. So you could do this as all that off-white and then use all the minis for all of that in there. That'd be really pretty. I'm going to have the links. In fact, the links already are up on the page for the theme packs. You could, another one we have, so that was the Sailor's Delight. This one is Call Me a Cabana. Call Me a Cab. Cab Anna. They're so cute. And this is a really pretty tropical green collection here. If you don't want to add anything to it, you could make the Ada shawl, A-D-A-H. We have one of those knit up right here that Susan knit for us in a highly variegated yarn that used 2 skeins. It would be super pretty in this, and this kind of gives you an idea of how it might go. In fact, these blend together even more than those 3 there. So they would be, and Brenna's right, they'd be great for any of Stephen West's painting shawl patterns too. All right, so what else? If you wanted to put another color with it, this was a lot of fun yesterday going through. So this one is Call Me a Cabana, and you could put native fibers into the woods with it. It's a nice teal that goes with it but doesn't show up in any of those colors. Or this one is more solid. This is Malintosh Sock Twist Light. I'm sorry, Malintosh Twist Light and Hepburn, which is a subtle but still also doesn't show up anywhere in there. Third one that we got here, Sweetheart. Really pretty, from the burgundy to a cream and just some dusky colors in there. I think would go great with this less traveled yarn, Tweed, Merlot. Look how rich that is. And even though it's similar to this color on the end, this one's the Tweed and this one isn't. So that would be really pretty in there. Or if you want to go light, this Malintosh Twist Light and Scout is actually not any of the same colors in there, but would be really pretty. I think that would be lovely in that stripy one that I just opened. Look how pretty that would be in this. That group there. Yep. Oh, and a baby blanket. That's a great idea, Peggy. Though, because it's washable, though bless any of you that want to make a baby blanket out of a fingering yarn. But, you know, I think that would be super sweet and very generous of you. You can also make a ranunculus out of it, because you've got these little gradients, and so you can have a little bit more control over what you save for the sleeves. So I think that would be really great too. I love how you guys are putting in the different pattern ideas. So make sure that you go back and look at your friends in there too. This one here is to counteract the Sailor's Delight. It's interesting, when we first opened, we sold a lot more grays and neutrals. And I think my penchant for things like Sailor's Delight and Call Me a Cabana has won some of you over, but I still need to make sure I include some of the grays and neutrals. This one here is Cliff Walk, and I think that would be really pretty with Farmer's Daughter Squish Fingering Legend. We also call this the Johnny Cash yarn because it's the darkest black that we have in the store, and they called it Legend, right? They got to be thinking of Johnny Cash when they named it this. That would make a really pretty, very classy papillon shawl. Nylene, I'm thinking of you. That would be really pretty. If you want to go in a completely different direction, I think some of our Sister Ananse zebra yarn, because it's got the black in it, would look really pretty with these grays in there and be really different and pop up in there. So that was a lot of fun at the last minute last night, because some of you had asked me either on Facebook or sent us a text, was I going to have any pattern ideas for these? And I was like, oh, better get busy. So I do have the links to all of these patterns up online with the theme packs. And then last but not least would be the classic Free Your Fade. And so let me unhook my flower thing here. That would make a really pretty, so this is a fade with three different skeins in it, but you could use a pack like the Call Me a Cabana and do it like that. This is Andrea Mowry's. And I was looking to see if some of you wanted to make exactly what close to what I'm wearing now. How would you do that? And I did find three. I'm not sure which. I think I might put them like this. I did find three that might be similar to this. So this is Gusto number 1204. Not very exciting for a number. This is our Westjack Kid, and this is Best Side. These two are Savannah Sock, and this one is the Gusto. And those three together would make one that's similar to this. So Melissa is still off today, and so is Jennifer. I'm looking forward to having them back next week. But our old friend Kit is coming in to work with me today. So that's really fun. And also makes me feel really good as a shop owner that people who used to work here feel fondly enough about working here that they want to come back and be here and play store with me today. So Kit will be here. Those of you that are crocheters, it's a great day to get some crochet expertise. So Jennifer also has that crochet expertise now also. I'm going to go put the links up and answer your questions. And I had a really good time talking with you this Saturday. I hope you have a lovely day. We all deserve one, right?